Something that's bothered me about the recordings with Adobe Connect is that we're able to post them, we're able to make them public, we can do editing, but we can't tell if they're actually being watched. Because if we go into our meeting where we've recorded it, we can go to recordings, we can see the recording, and we can see that there's some information about it. We can edit the recording, but we can't see how many times it's been viewed. We don't know if it's popular. We don't know if it's been well reviewed. If we go to reports, we still don't see that information for the recordings. We can only see these reports for the live sessions. What I've just discovered is that we can do something with those recordings to make it so that we can see how many times that recording's been viewed. And to do that, we can grab the recordings, grab any number of them at once, and we can move them. We can make them content. This has an added benefit of also removing the association of the recording with a particular meeting room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this recording to make it content, and I can put it into my content folder. Now this is a little tricky. Before I do this, I'm going to do something else. You can see in my content that I've got some folders already created there. Unfortunately, we can't put it in the shared content. We can only put it in our user content. To facilitate making these videos still publicly available, there is one thing that I like to do first, and that's create a folder for the content. So I'm going to make a folder here called SC Weekly for my SC Weekly sessions recordings. The other thing that I want to do here is I want to make it so this folder has the permissions to make all of its contents public. So I'm not going to post anything. I'm not going to move anything to this folder until I want that video to be public. And that's different permissions than I've got on my general user content folder. So I'm going to set this to allow for public viewing for my SC Weekly folder. Now I'm going to go back to my meetings. I'm going to go back to my SC Weekly, back to my recordings, and I'm again going to select those recordings that I want to post to there. And I'm going to move to folder. I'm going to go into the SC Weekly folder, and I'm going to say move. Okay. Now those recordings are no longer available here associated with that meeting room. They're no longer associated with the SC Weekly meeting room. I now find them under Content, under SC Weekly. The links to the recordings are unchanged, so they're still the same, but now I have some additional information associated with this content. I can now set permissions for that individual content, which it's a little more detailed, but we've set it so that it's publicly viewable anyway, so that's not really a big concern. We can email the link to somebody right from here. Download content I haven't tried, but the thing I like about this is we can now see a report. The great thing about this too is that it's retroactive. We don't need to it doesn't start counting now that I've moved it over to this user content folder. It has been tracking this. There just wasn't any way to see it before. So we can now track and see how many times the recordings that we post have been viewed through whatever means we share the links for them. Thought this would be helpful. I hope you agree.